Well, I would like to welcome everyone to today's public image training, Rotary District 5810, and looking at master brand, the brand center, all that fun stuff. We're looking at master brand, etc., and going a little off the usual approach of doing key points, question and answers, doctors in, but not totally straying from it. Going to try to blow through a lot of information really quickly that hopefully will be useful. And wanted to really start, before getting into technicals, why do we even talk about using the master brand? Why do we care? All of that. Well, I like to start with the marketing principle of 7 touches. That basically it takes at least 7 exposures before someone's ready to hear your message. After, website, social media, radio, billboard, direct mail, all these different things, someone after 7 times will be ready to say, I think I've heard of you now. What do you do? Which is frustrating. But we need that consistency. When we all use the same Rotary branding, we cut down those number of 7 touches because it's cumulative of what all Rotarians are doing. And from Rotary International to our local club, Interact, Rotaract, it all tells one story. So we hit those 7 touches earlier so we can get to, here's what our club is doing. Here's the event we're having. Come join us, be part of the change in the world. So by leveraging those 7 touches, using the same master brand, we can get our individual messages out that much more quickly, that much more cheaply. Also would suggest that, so one of our 6 areas of focus is peace and conflict resolution. And we live in a really divided world, I think I can say, and Rotarians can model that sense of unity and working together and all being on the same team. I think it actually, in and of itself, by using the consistent branding, is achieving and doing the work of Rotary, presenting that unified front. So there's some real values to us all embracing this master brand. So what do we actually mean when we talk about master brand? Well, it's one of the first questions that shows up on a survey. If you're in District 5810, each of the club presidents were provided with a survey, which is also available at the website under the public image area, Rotary checklist. And master brand is one of the first things that comes up. And mark of excellence is another. It's sort of like, what? I'm happy to comply, but I'm not entirely sure what, you're talking about. So I wanted to just quickly address a couple of the terminologies and get in a little bit deeper on some of this. So stories, it's technically a club runner term. So if you're not on club runner, not going to necessarily realize. It's just really saying, make sure that you're keeping your website updated with content about what your club is doing. And so just regularly update. And I know that as Rotarians, we're not wanting to brag, but if we don't tell, nobody knows. And if they don't know, they're not going to join. And it's a good way of reaffirming the work that your club members are doing. This applies to district level, zone, all of it. And then especially if we have partners in the community, it's a great opportunity to help amplify their message, leverage our network to help get the word out about their needs and what they're doing to help in the community. People of action. So we have this Together We campaign that Rotary International developed, and there's just so many great things about it, I think, because there are a lot of talking heads out there, and there's a lot of lack of authenticity. And as Rotarians, we value the truth. So this Together We transform, together we connect, together we end polio. We're doing things, and that speaks loudly in a world that just gives a lot of lip service, or someone thinks if they comment and share a post on Facebook that somehow they've actually done something. Yeah, depends on your interpretation. So we want to really be highlighting, demonstrating that we're doing things and that it is a together. So we want to really think about the images that we're showing, that we have groups, but that we're modeling what we want our club to continue to grow to be. So we want to include diversity. We want to show families. We want to show different races, genders, ages, all of that, and making that difference in the community. I love this particular example because you do, if you didn't notice, have Rotary, an old Rotary wheel in the background. So it just really is well done with this example. So how do you actually get to do it? There is a gorgeous little app. It's actually a website, but you can access it on your phone and it is optimized, but you can't download an app. But it's POA Photos, peopleofactionphotos.com. Love it. Makes it so easy so you can have your own photo, has some of the stock Rotary photos, and it'll let you add that together, we, and you put in whichever word, you choose whichever option because they're pre-populated with the right fonts, and you can upload straight to social media. You can have it available to email to someone to upload to your website. Just makes it really, really easy. And then all the official materials are available in Brand Center, which is you can access and we'll go over later from the Rotary International website. So there's some guidelines, there's tools, there's resources, there's videos. You don't have to make it all. You can just take it and it's all legit, all paid for, rights approved, all of it, right from Brand Center. So definitely encourage to use this because it really does help convey. We've got the Rotary brand, but then what are we doing? What does it stand for? It stands for People of Action. We're actually transforming the world. So then there's reference to the presidential theme, and it's like, oh, now another type logo. So these are the ones by each Rotary International president that is given special nuance, tone to their year. And as we know, the Rotary year starts July 1. That means be ready, be geared up on your Facebook page, on your website, anywhere that you might have had it, banners, all of that. July 1, it needs to be the next one. They do release it months in advance, so be ready. Yeah, I kind of sometimes see websites that are 5 or more years old. And it kind of ties back to that we're all one organization. So it's helpful and it is to help motivate us around the central theme as a nuance that we work into different marketing and conversations. So we do want to really make sure that we're consistent and just have it on a calendar, July 1, when we're making transitions in our leadership, that, oh yeah, need to change that presidential theme on the website. So master brand mark of excellence, just, fancy words for versions of our logo. So the master brand, and this is the official, like the official, it's the word mark and it's the wheel, but it's got to look like this. So it's this font, these colors, asterisk on that. But this is like the one. Mark of excellence is the wheel on its own. Think about like Apple. Boom, I bet a thought came into your mind. You saw that logo. And it's because it's consistently used. And even when they've done rebrandings over the years, they get everything aligned so it is that consistent. We want to be doing that same sort of thing because when we talk about Apple, there's certain characteristics that come to mind. We think about quality, we think about design, we think that it's gonna work. Their brand propositions, value propositions that are associated with that logo are consistently using the logo and the logos in the right way. Likewise, do that. So back on that survey, when it's asking, are you using the master brand? Are you using the mark of excellence? This is what they're talking about. So there's some variety in how we can actually apply it. So for example, if you're on a dark background, it would make sense to keep it blue. So you can have the knockout version. You can have different variations. What's going to make it stand out consistently? And all this information is available. Brand Center has brand guidelines. So that's what you're looking for, are the guidelines. And so it'll show you all these variations of what works, what doesn't, what are the right colors, what are the right fonts. Yeah, they're also giving some examples of what not to do. So this version here about like customized versions where we're playing with the wheel, or we incorporate the logo into something else that's custom with our club. Those days are over, my friend. Sorry. Again, all these reasons why we want to tell this unified story. We live in a global society. We're part of a bigger organization. We've chosen to be affiliated with this global organization, break down these barriers. So we need to be consistent in how we communicate that, how we present that. So, so those club specific ones need to be retired. Want to be honest, and Rotary International Director at a training session gave some just kind of good practical advice of when you're going to be just with other Rotarians, you have the shirts, you have the bags, you already have all the swag that has maybe your custom club one, or has these older multicolor wheels versus the single color wheel that's part of the current. So I didn't really call that out, but so again, it's always one color. It's no longer the two color wheel. So when you're just with other Rotarians, wear the stuff. We all know it's the same brand, we're all part of the same family. But when you're in a situation where it really is the broader community, or people who might not really know what Rotary is, that's when you really want to make sure that you are using the current branding, the master brand. And just for some context, we made this change in 2013. It's 2019, rapidly getting close to 2020. So we've had 6 years to make this adjustment. We've probably changed our tires. Some people will have moved, people have changed jobs. It's time. So to go ahead and start using, we want to make sure don't cut it off. Be proud. Might be creative design-wise, but it's not going to really help us reinforce, make sure people really know who Rotary is. And so some instructions on how to actually do this, because you can do this for your own club, and you should, and you're going to want to, and you need to. So, but how do you? They can't ask us to do this and not give us the tools. Rotary took care of that, and they really did an amazing job. So this is a tutorial. Go ahead and play, because that way you'll know. Share it with other people in your club, share it with other clubs, and hopefully the sound will actually convey. So if someone could drop in the chat once I hit play that the sound is coming through, would appreciate it. Here is how to get to the Brand Center, where you can access a lot of great tools that Rotary provides, as well as to see, it always says that. Is sound, can someone drop in the chat if sound was playing? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'll restart that. Appreciate it. Sorry about that. Create your logo for your club and all the different formats you'll need for the web, for print, whatever you need. They actually make it idiot proof. So there's no excuse for not using the new Rotary logo. And so you would go to myrotary.org. You can also access that right here on the Rotary homepage, My Rotary. You'll log in, you'll be here, and you're looking for this Member Center over here to the right, and go down to Brand Center. So that'll be the magic place to go. And have that open up, and this is a treasure trove. So what you're going to be looking for your logo is right here. If you want to understand all the details of what colors, spacing, tone of voice, things like that, and especially if you are working with a printer, this is a great place to go. Everything for our People of Action campaign, some downloadable materials, ads that are already ready to go, right down to billboards you can have, and then a huge inventory of high quality, good, approved images that you'll have rights to, so you don't have to worry about paying or any infringement, staying true to the 4-way test. So all of those. So right now what I want to look at are the logos. So if we go into the section here, and you'll see where you can do those, create your own club logo, and then also to support your Rotaract and Interact clubs. They don't necessarily have access to this area, so they are going to be dependent on you to get them the correct logos. So if we go into the templates, so again, we're Rotary.org, My Rotary Brand Center logos template. So that's where we are going into, and have this open up, and we hit create, big button. And this is so cool. Definitely encourage you to take advantage of it. So we're familiar with this, which is the core master brand of Rotary, but how do we customize it for our club? Well, we go right over here to where it says insert text. And so I might do something like that of Club of Plano East. Look there. Huh? Check it out. Look at that. But maybe you want it to be above the logo. You can plug in the copy here, above and below. So we usually talk about it as the Plano East Rotary Club. Guess what? There it is, right there for all to see. Also have options for to the right. So for example, if we were doing the district, we'd probably do this here. If I could spell. Look how professional that looks. And then to the right and below if we need that. And so in general, depending on what the layout is of where you're going to use it would determine the different ways that you do it. So they are still giving some good flexibility. But here's some additional things to consider. Do you need it for color? Do you want it as just one color? This may especially come into play if you are doing something in print and you have to pay for additional colors. One of the options that you also want to have if you're just doing black and white, but then this white, guess what? You're not going to see it because the background's white, but it's referred to as a knockout or KO. And so this is going to be what you would want to use if you're on a dark background. Makes sense, right? So all you have to do then, so let's say that I'm going to go back to this above and below, and I want to do the Plano East. So now I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to give it a name, which is for color, which would be for print, because I said that was the full color. And now I just download. And note, they have PDFs if you're going to go to print, JPEG if you're going to use on Word, presentations, web, and the PNG. So the PNG is actually the one that I most recommend for anything that isn't print, which again, you'll want that PDF version. But the PNG with that transparency, so if you do have anything in the background that will show through, and then if you have the JPEG, it includes that white background. And PNGs also tend to be lower in size, so that is a good option. So then you would just simply can download, acknowledge, note that it's only there for 30 days, and go ahead and download, save it onto your local computer. And there you go. You have it. It's that easy. So there's really no excuse not to. We'll do a separate video for other great tools within the Rotary Brand Center. But if you have any questions, please let us know. But hopefully that's a good tutorial on how to use the logo template builder so that you too can be using the Rotary Master Brand to advance your club's efforts. Thanks so much. And so again, this video is available within this presentation, which will eventually be on the website. If you think there's of use, that we can try to get it on the website as its own. But just to try to walk through, be able to share with folks how to actually create that logo. Some things to consider is that, and this is not officially in the brand guidelines, but I have solicited clarification from the Zone Public Image Director, Eric. On our Facebook page as well as for the website, you do want to use that full master brand, not just the mark of excellence for the profile on Facebook. And think of it as for the personal use, you can use just the wheel, the mark of excellence. But for the club, you want to use that full Rotary plus wheel master brand. And it does make sense because people may not necessarily know. As much as we live Rotary every day of our lives, there's sadly a lot of people who don't. So it just helps them understand, oh, okay, they're part of this broader organization. This is who they are. Okay, got it. So we do want to make sure that we're doing that. And one update from when that video was recorded for building for the master brand, that there's been further clarification that when you have that pipe and then something to the right of the master brand, that's really supposed to be more for like the Peace Fellows or major programs, RILA, things like that, major programs from Rotary versus a district, and definitely not a club. So that's just been an update clarification if you want to be in the know. Let's see. So something that I keep on my desktop in that same brand center is this identity at a glance document. It just has the key things of like what colors. So if you're building a website, it uses what's called hex colors. And those are RGB, red, green, blue, which is what is making your screen have color. So it'll have those combinations. We talked a lot about going to print. So those print CMYK, which is that 4 colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. It has those numbers. If you're getting very specific, there's PMS numbers, Pantone matching system. So there's just some, it's real quick, simple, proper ways to use it, what fonts. The official Rotary fonts are fairly expensive, but there are free options available, and so they have in this document some references. So it's just a really good, quick sheet to use. And as we showed in the video, there's just a lot of resources. It's worth spending some time in the brand center because they really do make so much available. And the materials, you can customize a brochure for your club, super quick and easy. Don't need graphic design skills, don't need graphic design software. All the ads, if you have like for public service announcement opportunities, most radio, number TV stations, billboards. There are a lot of organizations that will give nonprofits and so maybe through your foundation or just as goodwill to the community, run public service announcements. And so you, again, you don't have to have art skills, anything like that. Those resources are already available in the brand center. And finding images to use in different, on your website or in social media, etc. There are a lot of approved images that you can use from within Brand Center that, you know, just saves you a lot of effort and trouble. So those are the key points. I'll open up for any questions, and also just wanted to let you know that next month's we'll focus on thinking through website providers. So been working with a number of different clubs who maybe aren't on a Club Runner or DACDB or WordPress, or they're just not sure what they have is so old they know they need to update. So not making any recommendations officially for or endorsing any particular platforms, but just helping people understand how to ask questions, what are the considerations for their club in making a choice, updating or not updating their systems. So that's really the bulk of the conversation, and invite y'all to come off mute if you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to share. Would love to hear from you.
Lynn, can you hear me?
I can. Lori,
I'm
nice to
Lori.
see you. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. We're a really small club, and I'm doing maybe an eighth of the work I should be doing as the public information person.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. The Brand Central is such an incredible resource. Again, I don't use enough of it, but it is a great go-to. Do you have an example of a good Rotary Club website? Like, can you give me, I mean, maybe your club or something that you think, gosh, this is good but manageable?
Yeah. Um, I should instantly be saying one that I am managing for a club. We're on the way.
Okay, I get that.
You know, a lot really depends on what images do you have. You know, if you don't have a good photo library, the web is just very picture driven, you
Yeah,
know?
yes,
So that really, you know, is what holds, I find, most clubs back. Um, there are some clubs that are doing some really interesting things who aren't on Club Runner, for example. So District 5810 as a district is using Club Runner. So using Club Runner ties your data in to the district and to
right,
Rotary International. So from a tracking management, that side of things, it's where a lot of people will choose it. Other people will use, say, WordPress, which gives a lot more design flexibility and some additional functionality. But now you're manually doing those other pieces.
right. And
So,
we have Club Runner. I honestly haven't touched it myself, like
mhm,
as my position. We focus very heavily on really just Facebook, which
okay.
I'm not saying that works for us. It's just the one place we've got some engagement, and
Hmm.
it's a way we can engage non-members.
Yep.
So we do have some. We've doubled our following, which is not
Great.
exactly something we're celebrating, just because it's small. But we get community leaders paying attention or
Good.
making comments, or hey, it was really fun that I was able to be there last week. So um, we're putting most. Well, I'm putting most of my energy there, but I
Yeah.
can see the value of having a, a picture-centric club runner or something that kind of tells our story.
Yeah. So, and I think you've zeroed in on a key thing. And first off, thank you for all that you are doing, and stop beating yourself up for not doing more. It is so, I mean, that is the whole thing with anything marketing related, is there is always a lot more that could be done.
Right,
So you have to set those boundaries and just what's most important, what's most critical. So I get it. Um, so they play different roles, and
yeah,
there is an evolution going on, but there is still fundamentally the website is the legitimacy. If someone wants to really dig more, at least from a certain age on,
sure,
um, they're going to go to the website. Search engine optimization still is built fundamentally off of websites.
okay,
So thinking about what sort of content you have and why someone would be arriving there is important. So one of the biggest things, media. So if you're doing some sort of event and you have a press release and you want them to know more, they want to know the schedule, they want to know different things, you want to send them to the website.
okay,
And make it really easy, have those high resolution logos and photos
uh-huh.
and things like that available to the media to download, or instructions on the website, because they move so fast, that they are not going to ask, they're not going to wonder. And Facebook is downsizing, Instagram is downsizing the images, so they can't be used like in a newspaper. um, so that's one thing.
Okay,
Again, that search engine optimization of, well, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Is it that you have, like Prestonwood has, a flag program or a wine tasting fundraiser or something like that? Well, how are people searching? Are they searching for, what am I going to do this weekend? Well, there's
right,
opportunities to do the schema function so that it shows up more highly in Google searches, and Google still owns the search market.
okay,
Um, so you can do things around dates. Is it that there's an issue that y'all really focus on and want to be associated with? That's something. Google is 100% doing local search. So what you are saying and what I'm saying will always be different based on where we are geographically and our own past search efforts.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, and people still go to Google as much as they go to Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or wherever. They're still using Google, which means they're most of the time seeing websites.
Okay.
And you can just provide more detail. Like it's just easier. So having those things for engagement, like you're saying, yes, Facebook is definitely a good, important place. I recommend, it's not universal, but I recommend that if someone's on Facebook, that's where they want to stay. So you're not wanting to send them off to your
Yeah.
website.
Okay.
If there's a reason why they would then choose, like you've gotten them interested in you know, this example, Click and Drink, you know, you've gotten them interested and excited and they want to buy a ticket, you know, or see the map or whatever, then they can choose to go, but it's not really you driving them to
Yeah, and
another
I would
place.
think right now the only reason I can see someone just under our circumstances
Please.
really driving to our website, really it's just membership focus. It would be, that's the place anyone would go to, like you said, look, is this legit? Is this local? When do they meet? You know, all the stuff that's also on our social media, but it's not contained in one neat, tidy place. Or if they don't know to hit the about click,
Yeah.
and you know, so I can see, I know the last seemingly random member we received, meaning he hadn't been someone we had been talking to. He just moved to the area and like you said, did a Google search. And so my first thought was, oh, poor guy. oh, I'm sure we're not set up very well on that website. Anyway, okay, that's helpful. That's helpful for me. It just starts to get me thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Having the different purpose of what each is for, and it is that whole user experience, because it's likely that random member did also go to your Facebook page. Or
Sure.
highly likely, you know, so it's never knowing which way is someone coming in.
Yeah.
And what are those touch points in between? And are they touch points you're driving, or do those 7 happen from what they're initiating? So thinking through kind of that buyer's journey. And so the website, and if we think of that, okay, if it's like, this is really about membership, and just go all in on that type approach of showing all the warm fuzzy pictures of just, you know, how could I not want to be with these amazing people who are doing amazing things? And it's back to that story. It's like, tell the story of just how the types of people involved, the impact on the community, because people buy on benefits and they buy on emotion.
Yeah. 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 And I can see I need to put some time. I need to put some time in writing, frankly. Short stories, short, but
short. Yeah.
Yeah, but something to like you said, invoke the emotion of what we're doing, the connectedness within our group. I mean, it's our greatest asset. We're very tiny. So really our greatest asset is the connection between the people in the group. So I can see the value in that. Okay. Yeah. And then the other thing is, like you indicated, our photos just aren't quality enough. They're good enough for social, but they're just really not good enough for really any other reason.
Yeah.
So we need to work on that.
Yeah. And I have on the, it's totally in the way, so I can't get to it. Hang on. So at the district website, share this again. That if you go to public image and the toolbox, that there is, at least we used to have it here, take better photos.
Oh, great. Okay.
And it's an interactive, just little kind of walk through some ideas so that you and other club members can just be, okay, do something. You know,
Yeah,
this is kind of yawn and like, okay, it's good. It's the obligatory, fine. But this one's just more engaging.
sure it is.
And you
Yeah.
click on that. And it just also is kind of walking through why.
Okay, that's good because that's part of the challenge is I'm not going to be at all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I get pictures sent to me, which is so fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, it's black or, and again, not complaining because I'm so grateful, but, just an area where we could educate. That's a great tool.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is even like with these 3 pictures of a really cool event. I'm like, wow, okay, that's neat. And you get a sense of how many people are there,
Yeah,
and
that
like,
is
oh, that's a
fun.
little more engaging. This is the one that you stop on.
Yeah, it is. It totally pulls you and you feel like you're part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is so fantastic. And using local photos is really important to me. We're a small enough town that, if I put up a picture of somebody in Rotary and the community sees that, they're going to be like, who's that person? But when they
Yeah.
see, um, a familiar face, the
Yeah.
power that has. So,
Yeah.
okay. This is helpful. Thank you for letting me occupy some of your time, just working through
Oh,
some
that's why
club
we do it.
specific stuff. This is good. I love this format. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, good. Well, appreciate it. And thanks for joining and giving me part of your time today. So, and again, thank you for all that you are doing for Rotary.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Lynn. Take
Excellent.
care.
Okay, you too. Thanks. Bye.